There is no doubt Nick Sirianni has lost the locker room. The question is, can he ever get it back? Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you got the door. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, I can't believe this season has taken such a dark, crazy turn. Something that I never thought would have happened. But after watching the last month of this Philadelphia Eagles team, it is apparent the head coach has lost the locker room. He has lost the locker room. Do you remember this team was 10-1? And I want you to go back to when this team was 10-1. They just beat Buffalo Bills, right? Jalen Hurts runs into the end zone in overtime. What a win, right? The Eagles, what was the narrative? They never give up. They're always fighting. They're always in it. They just keep coming at you. They don't quit. They're a great team. They're all in together. And that was the narrative. And we go from that against Buffalo to the next week going in against San Francisco. And before the Eagles even took the field, it was over. That game was over. If you just look how the 49ers came into that game, then you look how the Eagles came into that game. The Eagles were not the same team that they were a week ago. What happened that 1 week? Because to me, that is the point where something began to break. Now, there may have been stuff going on behind the scenes that ultimately led to what happened in that 49ers game. But that 49ers game, and I've said this after the 49ers destroyed us, I said, you can look and you could tell just the way that game started. The Eagles, they lost before that game, even the kickoff. You could tell by the way the 49ers were running onto the field. They were getting up on Bradbury. They were bullying Bradbury, bullying the Eagles. The Eagles were checked out. Something happened, I believe, from that Buffalo game to that 49ers game. And when you have a team that allows a team like Arizona to come in and put up, 35 points against you. A 3-win team did not punt the whole entire day. You could not stop them from punting. You did not stop them once. A 3-win team who was without their best wide receiver, by the way. First nine games, Eagles are number 1 against the run. Now, they're literally the worst team against the run. What do they always say about a good run defense or tackling, right? What do they always say about stopping the run? It's an attitude. It's a will. You have to want to do it. You have to have that right attitude to go out and tackle and stop the run. And when you see the Eagles, just especially that run defense, start to totally collapse, it makes you wonder that there's not something bigger going on within the locker room. And this is what it comes down to. Even if you look at the whole A.J. Brown situation, do you think A.J. Brown isn't talking because he just doesn't want to say anything? I mean, that's part of it. But A.J. Brown already went to the team. He already talked to the coaches. He's already spoken up. These players have already spoken up. I think that these players, and this is speculation on my part, I get it. But I think after that Buffalo game, I think these players went to the coaches, especially Nick Sirianni, and said, look, we can't do this every week. We're down 10 at halftime. We have to come back. We need to make some changes. And Nick Sirianni basically told them, listen, we do what we do, and that's it. We're not changing anything. And I think guys like A.J. Brown probably feel like, I've already spoken. I've already said everything I could to the coaches. They're ignoring me. Because what do people do? What do people do when they say their piece and you still ignore them? At some point, they shut down. They stop speaking. They shut down. That's what it is. And this coach has lost this locker room. He has absolutely 100% lost this locker room. I think it was right around that Buffalo game, maybe after. Maybe it was building up before, and then going into that 49ers game was the breaking point. I know the 49er fans will say, we broke the Eagles. We broke them. And the Dallas Cowboy fans always try to piggyback on anything that gives them credit. We broke them, man. Those 2 games broke them. The Eagles were broken when they came into that 49ers game. They were broken. Something happened. There was a disconnect. Go back and watch my videos after that 49ers game. The Eagles, they didn't look right. Even in my live stream, the first quarter, I go, this team looks dead. They look like they didn't come to play today. And something happened. What is it? I don't know. My thought is that the players went to the coaches. Coaches are unwilling to change, and I mean specifically Nick Sirianni. Then when you fire Sean Desai, it's such a panic move, right? They fire him, but they don't let him go. Okay, and that was such a panic move, and it just helped lead the players to thinking this coach has no clue what he's doing. He has no clue what he's doing. And the question really is this, I guess at the end of the day, is can Nick Sirianni survive? Can he legitimately be the coach next year, or is this thing already done? Me personally, here's how I feel. I don't know if a coach can get back the locker room when they lose it to the degree it seems like Nick Sirianni lost it. How do we really know if he fully lost it or not? I guess we really don't. We can only look at what we see. I think a good barometer for knowing this is if the Eagles don't get out of the first round of the playoffs. If they lose in the first round of the playoffs, I think he's got to go. If they get to like the divisional round and play good in that divisional round and lose, maybe you give him a chance. You change your coordinators. You do some stuff like that. But a coach that loses a locker room to the level I think that Nick Sirianni did, I don't know that he can get out of the first round of the playoffs. I honestly, I don't know if they're going to win this week against the Giants. Tyrod Taylor is better. Is better than what was that kid's name? Tony. That guy. We didn't know his stupid name. He stinks. I can't remember names of people that stink. All right. Danny DeVito. He's better than Danny DeVito. He gave the Giants a legitimate shot in that second half of the game against us. This defense can't stop anything. And they're saying, I heard Matt Patricia, well, it's on me and it's my fault. Yeah, kind of. But if this team is already checked out, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what coaching adjustments you make. It doesn't matter. They've checked out. And I think this team is on the verge of checking out. I think you have coaches, in my opinion, that do not listen to the players. It's just my hunch. It's just my guess. Looking at a guy like A.J. Brown and his response to not wanting to talk. The reason he doesn't want to talk is most likely he's already said what he had to say to the coaches, and he's been shut down. So you have a guy here that isn't going to talk, and now we know that a lot of the players agree with A.J. Brown. They're just not handling it the same way. So the question is did Nick Sirianni, has he lost this team? And I think if you lost the locker room, it's a fireable offense. And I know it's crazy, right? You have a coach that took your team to the Super Bowl last year, and then for the first 10, 11 weeks was literally had the best record in football. They were like 32 straight weeks where the Eagles had the best record in football the last 2 years. It's an absolutely amazing record. And I look at this team and I say they're way too talented to have this kind of collapse. Yeah, we have deficiencies. We need linebackers. We need to do something at the safety position. We're going to need new corners. There's some real flaws, fundamental flaws on this team that can't be fixed until the offseason. However, they were still good enough and talented enough to go to 10-1. Okay? And I know that this team somewhere is still very talented. But I think they checked out. I think their heart's not in it because I think the coach lost the locker room. So can Nick Sirianni actually be fired? Because there's a lot of people saying, you can't fire him after one bad year. Why not? Why not? They fired Doug Peterson after winning a Super Bowl and then going 3 straight years in a row to the playoffs. Has one bad season, they fire him. If you can fire Doug Peterson, you can fire anybody. And I don't think Nick Sirianni, I don't think he's going to survive this. Because I don't think the Eagles get out of the first round of the playoffs. Not unless something dramatically changes. Nick Sirianni has to find a way, in my opinion, to get this locker room back. If he doesn't find a way to get this locker room back, they're done. And I don't know if you could get it back. I've been trying to think all day, like, what coaches out there have we seen that lost the locker room, lost it, where the players just flat out, we're done, and then was still able to get it back. I don't know, And if Nick Sirianni does stay and these players aren't buying in anymore, does that mean you're going to have a complete overhaul of the roster and get rid of most of the guys? I mean, it's stupid. I think Nick Sirianni is personally a walking dead man. I honestly do. He's got to get this locker room back. And hey, listen, if they go out and they get into the playoffs, and let's say they win in the first round, they go into San Francisco in the second round, they give them a hell of a fight, maybe they pull up an upset, maybe they lose by 3, but it's a really good game and they played hard, all right, then maybe you got something. But if they go out and they lose to Tampa Bay in that first round, I'm telling you, or assuming it's Tampa, I'm telling you, I don't think you recover from it. I don't think you recover it. I think, in closing, what I'm saying is I think that a fireable offense is very simply when a coach loses a locker room, most likely 99 out of 100 times, it's over. It's over. And I expect it to be over for Nick Sirianni. Just my opinion. But I will be rooting for this team to get it right. I'll be praying that the Eagles beat the Giants next week. I'll be praying that they beat the Giants Sunday, and then the Cowboys lose, and we get I want all that stuff to happen. But man, when you really look at where they were at the peak during this year to where they have gone, it's more than just we had a tough stretch of games or we were injured or things just didn't go our way. There's something way deeper than that, in my opinion. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, go to bed, and right now it's bad, but it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think to myself, what am I going to ask from Capizzle? What should I ask him in return for a double or nothing bet? I need ideas. I need you guys to give me your opinions. I'm looking forward to hearing what they could be. But I got to do something. With that said, Denzel Washington out.